The one thing that I've always said throughout my nursing career is, I believe two things when patients tell me. They're going to die, and the baby's coming. Those are two very profound things.
It's only inside a hospital where, day in and day out, by design or in spite of best efforts, people are born and people die. For the staff at Lawrence and Memorial Hospital in New London, adapting to and learning from these experiences is an essential part of the job.
I wouldn't do anything else. It's the greatest job.
Every day I love to come to work, and the other day I came in, my shift starts at 7. By 7:30 we had a baby.
I remember from being a little girl wanting to be a nurse. There was never a question of being anything else for me.
In the labor and delivery department, the birth of a child is not just a pinnacle moment for the family, but a source of affirmation for the staff and a reflection of the core purpose of the hospital community.
It's a really cool experience to be able to help somebody and be a nurse at their delivery.
It never gets boring. Seeing someone carry their baby and push and deliver this beautiful baby.
To sit back and look at it and think, okay, this is a new life coming into the world. It's a really awesome experience.
A lot of patients will say, thank you, I couldn't have done it without you. And I tell them, thank you for letting me be a part of your experience.
If birth represents the alpha occurrence in a hospital, death is the omega. Only a few corridors away from labor and delivery is the emergency department, where nurses, physicians, EMTs, and paramedics fight with great success to keep folks alive. It's not possible that every situation ends happily.
You can't be an EMT or a paramedic for very long and not deal with death.
Accident, rollover with entrapment, 3 people trapped in the vehicle.
It's possibly part of every call you go on.
It makes you think about your own life. It makes you think about your own relationships with your own family members, and it makes more of a reality in your own life, and not to take things for granted.
While mortality is a quantifiable reality, staff members in the ED are equally passionate about their work and its respective rewards.
Helping people, having the responsibility of helping them.
The opportunity to be the first person to take care of them and affect change, whether it's life or death or even something maybe not that exciting. It still gives me not so much adrenaline, but really satisfaction.
Nurses, doctors, technicians, and paramedics are there for a patient's most important moments. Whether the beginning or the end of a life, the approach is remarkably consistent.
I just feel like it's such a privilege to be able to support people during that time and be there for them.
I do believe that as a nurse in this field, we have the privilege of seeing people and being able to help people in probably one of the most difficult times of their life.
We're with them in some very difficult times.
A woman going through labor is going to probably feel the most pain she has ever felt.
Consider them pinned in a car, and everything that you're doing to get them out of that car does create discomfort and pain.
To be able to be in that role as their primary person helping them to get through this difficult situation, the impact that we can have on somebody's life is phenomenal.
By definition, hospital professionals at any given moment can literally hold someone's life in their hands. The physiological results of that lifestyle are cumulative, and these folks have to learn to cope with tremendous levels of stress and come back the next day to do it again.
You have to be able to be okay at the end of the day, going home and saying, I did the best I could for as many as I could.
You do see some really, tragic things here, and it's, but the important thing is not to dwell on it, a lot of days I develop daily amnesia, I walk out of here and, it's, what did I do for the last 8.5 hours? But then again, it's not always like that.
I have many more good outcomes than I have bad. I have 10 times more good days than I have bad days. And every time you say goodbye to a patient, shake their hand and say it was nice meeting you, and they say thank you, and they look you in the eye, that lives with you forever, as well as seeing somebody die. Somebody saying thank you, that sticks with you. You walk out, you feel proud, you'd feel re-energized, you can do the next call.
Attention medical 11, an emergency ambulance calling a priority 1.
When you're walking out of here and your work is done for the day and you've done your job and you can feel good about what you've done, there's a sense of accomplishment. And there's a sense that you can leave knowing that you've done a good job and you've done well and you've helped people, you've helped somebody. And being able to leave work with that kind of feeling is very rewarding.
Everybody at some point in their life has to deal with birth and death, and I think no matter who you are or what you do, what your lot in life is, you deal with it appropriately and about the same way. You know, you just move on. You put one step in front of the other. You grieve or celebrate in very similar ways.
You also do see that life is a cycle.
3404 grams.
One of the most poignant moments that you can have in this ER is whenever someone is born, there's music that plays throughout the hospital. Here, when someone dies, occasionally, the music will play right afterwards, and you say, you know what, this is the circle, this is what happens. And life goes on, and life ends, and that's okay. That's okay as long as you're trying to alleviate suffering and help people. It's okay.